Hi guys, it's Ty and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing another book haul. I have about 30 or so books to talk about and some of them I've already read, a majority of them I haven't. So we will go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the books that I have already finished or I am currently in the middle of. First we're gonna start with Riley Sager's The Only One Left. This is his most recent release this year, came out like a month or so ago. I have already talked about this on my channel. I absolutely loved it. I gave this one a 5 stars. If you want to hear my thoughts on this one, I will have my Riley Sager video linked down below. The next one that we have here is Ruth Ware's 0 Days. Also another new release for this year that just came out about a month or so ago. I think it was around the same time that the Riley Sager book came out. But I've also already talked about this one on my channel as well. It was in one of my recent reads, so I will have that video linked down below if you guys want to check that out. But I gave this one a 2 stars. Definitely not one of my favorites by Ruth Ware, but I can appreciate that in this one she went out on a limb and tried to do a thriller. Some people have enjoyed this one, but for me it just didn't work. And then this one that I have, the last one of the ones that I've already read or like in the middle of, it's A Twisted Love Story by Samantha Downing. I am currently in the middle of this one. I only have like maybe barely 40 pages to go. So by the time you see this video, I will have already been done with it. But this is a adult mystery and it follows this couple by the name of Wes and Ivy. They're two of the most toxic people I have ever read about, and two people that should not be together, but of course they are. And in order to get back together this last time, Ivy went ahead and filed a police report on Wes claiming that he was stalking her, but she only did that so that he would talk to her again. But because she filed that police report, there is this police officer that is now looking into both of their backgrounds, and she is now investigating a murder case that she believes Wes and Ivy might be a part of. I am loving this one so far. I love the toxicness of their relationship. I don't agree with it, but I do love reading about it. So if you have not read this one or are thinking about it, I would check it out. Now, I have heard that some people that have been reading this do not like it as much as some of her other works, but this is my first time ever reading her, so that's probably why my opinion of this book is so high. Unless something just drastically changes with the ending, I'm at least probably going to give this one like a 4 stars. So now the next few books that I want to talk about are books that I got from Book of the Month for July and August. So starting with July, the first one that I got, which was actually my Book of the Month pick, is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. This is a YA fantasy. So I did really enjoy These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I did not really care for Our Violent Ends by her, but I wanted to go ahead and give this one a try, especially because one, I do like the cover of this, and I have heard some good things about this book. All I'm gonna tell you, based off of the little blurb here, is that it says it's inspired by Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, is a fiery conclusion of power plays, spilled blood, and romance amid a set of deadly games. It just sounded really good, and it sounded like something that I would enjoy, so I went ahead and picked this one up. And then my 2 add-ons, the first one being The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I have not read anything by this author. She is the one that wrote The City of Brass, like that trilogy, which I have right up there. I have not gotten to it yet, and I've heard really good things about that. But I've also heard some really good things about this one. All that I know is has to do with something like pirates, and Tori over at Tori Moro, she really enjoyed this one, so I went ahead and picked it up. And then my last add-on that I have for the month of July is As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Katu. I haven't heard a lot of reviews about this one, but the few that I have seen that have been really positive. And all that I know about this one is that it is about a pharmacy student that is trying to decide if she will stay in her country of Syria or leave, because I think a war might have broken out, not really sure, but it sounded really interesting, and like I said, those positive reviews got to me, so I went ahead and picked it up. So then my picks for the month of August, I kind of went out of control. So I have one actual Book of the Month pick, and then I have 4 add-ons because Within these last few months, Book of the Month has allowed you to add on more than just 2 books. You can add on up to 4. So that's exactly what I did because there were a lot of books that I was interested in that had just come out. So my actual Book of the Month pick for August is Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. And this one is one of my most anticipated releases for the year because I absolutely adored The Hacienda, which I am learning that not too many people like that book, but I loved it. So of course I had to pick up this one. All I know, it has like a historical setting and there's something about vampires. That's all that I needed to know. The word vampire is like a buzzword for me. So I just wanted to go ahead and pick this one up. And then with my 4 add-ons that I have for the month of August, the first one being None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I've heard really good things about this. It's supposed to be, I think, maybe an adult thriller, could be just a mystery, not really sure. But the little blurb on here says, when a famous podcaster interviews a stranger promising to divulge the story of a lifetime, secrets emerge that threaten to expose the truth of the lives they both worked hard to project and protect. So this sounds really good. The last book that I've read by Lisa Jewell, I really enjoyed. I'm just starting to get into her backlog, so I'm really excited for this one. And then the next one I have is Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. This is a adult mystery and it's about a father that goes missing and some secrets are revealed about the father and also about the family. I'm really interested in this one. Her other book that came out that I haven't been able to get to yet is called Miracle Creek, that a lot of people have enjoyed, so can't wait to get to this. And then the other one that I have is Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have not read any of her works. I believe I gave one of her books to my younger sister, but she primarily writes young adult, and this is her first adult novel, and it is about a Dominican American family that is awaiting the reading of a will. I've heard good things about this one, mostly on Instagram, so I'm excited to get to this and try her work for the first time. And then the last add-on that I have for the month of August is Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister. This is a adult thriller and it's about a missing person and the detective that is trying to find said missing person. Yes. So can't wait to get to this. So all of the other books that I'm going to talk about are just random books that I have picked up here or there, mostly on sale somewhere. So we will go ahead and jump right into those. I have The Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. I have heard some good things about this one. Not a lot of people have been talking about it, but the few people that I have seen mention it have spoken really highly of it. And this is a adult fantasy. I think in this world they have gotten rid of weapons of mass destruction, so now they're leaning on martial artists, I believe. I could have that so wrong, but there's a lot of action in here, a lot of fight scenes from what I heard, and that's something that I enjoy in fantasy, so I'm excited to get to this. And then I have Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. This is a adult horror and it revolves around a gay conversion camp, which, one, I like horror. 2, I'm interested in like learning about people who have to go to like conversion camps and how that really works out for people. So this one really piqued my interest, and this is also another one where I've heard some really good reviews about, so I'm hoping to actually get to this one this fall. And then I just stumbled upon this one while I was at a used bookstore, and it's called Never Tell by Stacey Abrams, but writing as Selena Montgomery. This is a adult mystery where it follows this detective who is trying to investigate a serial killer out in New Orleans, but then she ends up falling for a journalist that I think is also looking into that same serial killer. So this really piqued my interest as well. So then I have Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates, which is a adult mystery thriller. I have not read anything by Darcy Coates, so this would be my first one, and I'm hoping to get to this one this winter. It just seems like a winter vibe, but it's about this group of people who got stuck out in the Rocky Mountains during a snowstorm. Their tour guide goes missing, or no, he shows up dead well, he doesn't show up dead, but they find him dead. And then people start to go missing one by one. I love a good story with people missing one by one. So this sounds like it's gonna be right up my alley. So then I just stumbled across this one at Barnes & Noble's. This is Jawbone by Monica Ojeda. And I just could not pick it up because look at that cover. It just looks really strange. I don't really know what this is about besides like some girls taking part in some like weird rituals, and I think it might involve one of their teachers as well, but it just seemed like something that was weird. So I wanted to give it a try, but it also kind of makes me nervous because I am one of those readers that likes a lot of dialogue in their stories, and this does not look like they talk a lot in this book. It just, I don't know. It's making me nervous to see how I'm going to fare with this. So then I picked up Deep as a Sky, Red as a Sea by Rita Chang Epic. And I got this one because I stumbled across a table at Barnes & Noble's where it was selling like it was selling hardbacks for like 50% off, just random hardbacks. And this was one of them. When I picked it up, I also just noticed how stunning this cover is and how, I mean, if you notice, like it's a face in the water. I thought this was a adult fantasy, but on the inside it just says it's a historical novel, so I'm not really sure what other category this would fall under, but it says it's about a legendary Chinese pirate queen, her fight to save her fleet from the forces allied against them, and the dangerous price of power. Again, this is one that I've seen floating around on Instagram where I've heard really good reviews, so I wanted to pick it up. Then next up, I picked up The Women Could Fly by Megan Gidding. I think this is like an adult mystery maybe. It's about a woman who is, I think, looking into like the death of her mother, but then she finds out that her mother was a witch. So that's interesting. I've also read another book by this author called Lakewood that I don't think a lot of people have read. It's a really interesting story. I believe I gave it like a 3 stars just because I just wanted more. But there was a lot of commentary in that book, and then I heard there's a ton of commentary in this one, and I'm here to check it out. And then I've been seeing this one floating around, and that is The Serpent in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I think it's a young adult fantasy, could be adult, I'm not sure, or it might fall under like that new adult, but it had my buzzword in there of vampires, and then there's some sort of tournament. So I'm here for that. And then I picked up a young adult horror novel. It's called Delicious Monster by Lizelle Samberry. I have had my eye on this for a while. And then again, at the same Barnes & Noble's, I came across a table that had books on sale. This was one of them. And so it was a perfect time for me to go ahead and pick this up. But this involves a girl who says that she can see dead people, and then she has to stay in like this creepy mansion. I've heard really good things about this. Every person that I've seen review this said that they really enjoyed it. So this is also another book that I'm hoping to get to this fall. So then I have another horror novel. You cannot see the title, I don't think, that well, but it says Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. I have read a few things by Eric LaRocca now. Some have been a hit, some have been a miss, but he's like one of those authors where I always want to pick up his stuff because I'm hoping that they will be a hit for me. But this one just follows this detective in this, I think it's like a small town that is investigating some mysterious disappearances. The cover, this all black cover, I'm really liking, and then the inside of it just looks weird. It's like black, the pages, you cannot see that, but they're like not marbled. That's like the best way that I can describe it. But like a lot of the pages in here are black, and this is a novella. I think it says it's like it's his first novel, but it's still less than 300 pages. It's barely over 200 pages. So I think we consider those a novella, I'm not sure. But I'm really excited to get to this. Again, another one that I'm hoping to read this fall. So the cover got me on this one. I have not heard anybody say anything about this, but The cover got me, that's why I picked it up. But then the synopsis also intrigued me as well. This is a adult horror novel. It's called Suburban Hell by Maureen Kilmer. And this group of women get together for like, I think they're called like wine, what are they called? No, they're just monthly wine get-togethers. At one of the women's house, they do something with the shed, and then all of a sudden a demonic force is present and starts to take over the women, I think. That was a really chaotic description of this, but it sounds kind of comedic with some horror elements thrown in there as well. So hopefully I enjoyed this one. So then I got The Silence of the Dead by Simone St. James. Now I was under the impression that this was a new book by her, but I think they are just re-releasing some of her books in new covers. So I thought like the color and the color scheme of this one was really pretty. So I went ahead and picked it up. Although I do like Simone St. James as well, but this is a adult, I think this is like more of a horror mystery novel about this lady who lied about her qualifications of being a nurse, and she ends up at this really creepy estate that's turned into a hospital for wounded soldiers, and then some creepy things happen. So I'm excited to get to this one. So then this is like the book of the hour, the book that has been showing up already on people's like top books of the year. This is The Will of the Many by James Islington. I have not read anything by this author before. He has another series that is already out and completed, and this is a adult fantasy. I'm not even really sure what this is about besides some guy that goes to a special school, academy, something like that. But because so many people have said that they enjoyed it, especially people who I trust their reviews, I went ahead and picked this one up as well. So then the next one that I have is Stay Awake by Megan Golding, an adult mystery. I have read like 3 books by this author already, so she's kind of like an auto buy for me. I've been wanting this one. I finally saw it on sale, so I went ahead and picked it up. But it follows this woman who has basically lost her memory, and she leaves herself notes that says like stay awake. She may or may not be involved in a murder that has taken place. So I've heard mixed things about this one. Some people really like it, some people really don't. So I'm interested to see where I will fall with this one. So then I have Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pembroke, which I think is an adult mystery. This is an older book. I'm just now getting around to it. I have heard some mixed things about this one, only in regards to the ending. The ending seems like it really works for some people and not so much for other people. But this one follows this woman who meets this guy at a bar. They end up having a one-night stand. She goes to work the next day. That guy is actually her boss that she didn't realize was gonna be her boss. And she also finds out that the guy's married. So I guess we're going to be finding out some secrets in regards to this man, maybe her as well. So I'm interested in this one. So then I got I Will Find You by Harlan Coben, an adult mystery thriller. And I have seen quite a few people pick this one up and say that they enjoy it. Harlan Coben, I see these books everywhere and I just never picked them up. Never really, I guess, had an interest in them. He's kind of like a James Patterson where they have like a million books published. But I decided to pick this one up because Nakia over at Nakia's Hideaway said a lot of good things about this one. But this follows a man who has been sitting in jail because he has been convicted for the death of his son. And then he gets a picture that clearly shows that his son is alive. So I guess we're trying to figure out what happened there. So then I have Leave the World Behind by Ruman Alman. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly, but this book has also been out for a little while, but I finally picked it up because I found it on sale, as one does. And this one follows this family that is trying to have a nice like little vacation. I want to say that they stay at an Airbnb because then the owners of that said Airbnb have come back and said they needed to stay there as well because a blackout has occurred in New York. I guess we're trying to find out some things about both of these families and what is taking place in New York and why there's a blackout. I want to say that I heard that this was being made into a movie or it's already been adapted. I have heard like mixed things about this one as well, so hopefully I will enjoy it. So then I picked up Roxy by Neil Shusterman and his son Gerard Shusterman. And I have had my eye on this one for a while too. Plus, I just really like the cover. But this one has to do with drug addictions. That's all that I know about it. It has a unique storytelling to it, and it is young adult. I don't even know what to classify this as, but it's young adult. And I love things that I have read by Neil Shusterman, so hopefully this is going to be another one that I love by him as well. So then the last book that I found that sounded intriguing is The Hiding Place by CJ Tudor. I have not read anything by CJ Tudor. I have another book by this author, which I can't think of the name right now, but I saw this one on sale and I decided to pick this up. But this follows this guy who is trying to get a teaching position back at the town where he used to live. But then there's also like a murder that took place and he's interested in his old bully. So some things have happened in this town. So we'll see if this is one that I will enjoy. So those are all the books that I have gotten these last few months. I will link any related videos down below in regards to the books that I have already read in case you guys are interested. But I will see you guys next time. Bye.